Hey everybody, and welcome back to another one of Mudflap's movie reviews. My name is Mudflap, and today I will be reviewing the 5th episode of Marvel's show Moon Knight. Let's get started. So before I get started, I'm just going to do a quick recap of the 4th episode. If you haven't caught up on the show yet, just skip over this part because there will be a couple spoilers I'll be talking about. The last episode was called The Tomb, where Steven and Marc have to go to the tomb to get the stone character of Khonshu to bring him back to life, but of course Harrow is there and he ends up shooting Marc, and at the end of the episode Marc and Steven are in some sort of psychiatric facility, and that's where they run into the goddess Tawaret, who is the goddess of fertility and children, and she's just this big hippo. So I'll be honest, the last 15 minutes of the last episode I had no idea what was going on. So did a lot of people. They're just like, well, what just happened? That's where we ended the episode, and now to start the episode of episode 5 called Asylum. Marc and Steven are back in the asylum, and Tawaret is explaining to them that they're actually in the afterlife, and the asylum is just a way of their mind comprehending it, because according to Tawaret, the mind can't comprehend how crazy and powerful the afterlife is. She's having great difficulty getting them to the field of reeds, which is the pathway to paradise. They can only get there through the balancing of the scales, their heart against a feather. If the scales balance out, then they're free to enter paradise, but if they don't, they will be cast overboard of the boat that they're on, and they will spend eternity frozen in the desert. So this episode really focuses a lot on them trying to balance the scales. This episode was filled with a lot of sentiment, and I was really happy with how we got to get a really good glimpse into Marc and Steven's life, starting from when he was a kid all the way up until now, and how everything ended up happening. We got to see his mother and his father. Finally, we got to understand the relationship that he had with his mother, and it was just really sad. But then we also got to see how Marc ended up coping with all this, and how Steven is brought into all this. It was just an amazing episode. One thing I still am waiting on seeing is I want to see the third personality, Jake Lockley. We have seen just very tiny subtle hints of him, but that's kind of my hope for this last episode next week, is that we see Jake Lockley in action. I'm starting to think that maybe we won't, unless next week's episode is at least an hour long, because the rate it's at right now, with how the episode ended, I don't know what's going to happen next. It definitely left us wondering now what, and I'm really excited to see how Marvel wraps this show up. I had wished that it was a longer show, but the episode lengths were great, 50 minutes each. It just keeps getting better and better each week, so I'm going to give this episode 8 out of 10 Mudflaps. Definitely was kind of the glimpse into the mind of Steven and Marc that I really needed to center myself on their character and Moon Knight and how it all ties together. And before you leave, drop in the comments below who's your favorite personality, Steven or Marc. And as always, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, and I'll see you next time.